Hey everybody, Sasuke419 here, and welcome to Tiffany's drawing tutorial. Like in other videos, this one's just showing how I go about drawing Tiffany. I'm also going to answer a couple of your questions, and I'm going to get a little bit of Tiffany's backstory, as well as a little bit of music for y'all in time-lapse. Unless you guys, again, want to see a 30-minute video. But anyway, let's get into a couple of these questions that I've been asked. One question. Are you making any more comics? Yes. Yes, I am. You guys haven't really seen that much lately, besides this anyway, but as I said, I've been really busy. School, work, you know, same old, same old. That's what it takes to get a college degree, I guess. Hate school anyway, but, you know, whatever. But, yes, I am going to do more comics, more parodies, and you'll see more stuff over my actual comic as time goes by. So let's go on to the next question. How often do I buy Sonic figures and statues? That's actually a good question. It really depends on what comes out and how rare it's going to be in the long run. Example, the statues, the first 4 figure statues, the second they are announced, so you could pre-order them, I pre-order them immediately, because I always order the exclusive versions, and I know the exclusive versions are going to be the hardest ones to find. I already have normal Sonic, Super Sonic exclusive, Metal Sonic exclusive. I pre-ordered Knuckles exclusive, which is going to be like $221 when that comes out, and I recently ordered the Tails exclusive for when that comes out later on this year or next year, and that's going to be $231. So my wallet is crying right now, but at the same time, they are some exclusive figures. Normal figures, Jazzware stuff, pretty much whenever I see them and I have the money, I'll just go ahead and pick them up. And depending on how rare they're going to be. If you've seen before, the Sonic Through the Years line, I have 2 sets of those, one open and one not. Just in case it might be worth something in the future. You know, it'd be nice to have a set open and a set not. But to answer the question, I guess depending on what it is, if it's a video game, if I really, really want the game, I'll get it. If it's something I know I can get later on down the road, then I'll hold off on it. And last question. What would Mario look like in my comic if I ever drew him? You know what? I don't know. I haven't drawn Mario since 9th grade, back in 2000. So, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll test that out and try and draw Mario. But, anyway, let's get into a little bit of Tiffany's backstory. Obviously, her name is Tiffany. She is 17 years old. Her birthday is February 21st. Her height is 5'5". Her weight, again, secret, guys. You know, women, they don't want you to know their secret. Hell, they don't even want you to know their age at times. But, you know, can't tell you her weight. I don't know, take a wild guess. Family, unknown. And her element, she currently has no elements. Her characteristics, she is the leader of her group. Yes. She is a leader. I do have a woman leader. Go figure. You know, I'm tired of that whole damsel in distress thing. Women can't do anything. No. I already showed you Amy and how Amy is strong. Amy may be the muscle of the group, but Tiffany is the leader and tactician of the group. Like I said, going back, she is a tactician as well. If I haven't said that before. She is really smart. No, she's not a Mary Sue, because she does have flaws. She is trained in martial arts by Rochelle. Rochelle is Tony's mother. She is trained in... In fact, I'll get to that later. I'll tell you what type of fighting style she learns. She's a bit of a tomboy. You will probably never see her in a dress, just because she doesn't really like them, and she feels as though she doesn't have a good figure. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say that, but I guess I can see where she's coming from. I mean, if you have to compete with this, yeah, I guess she would be insecure about herself. But, yeah, she's, you know, in all honesty, I'm going to tell you something. She feels as though she's not attractive enough because one of the main issues, she feels as though she doesn't have the body, and because she has a small chest. Compared to her best friend, Amy, who has... you horn dogs, I guess I'll tell y'all. She has a size double D bust. That is Amy's chest size. Well, Tiffany only has, what, a B. Maybe a double B later on in the series. So she kind of feels inferior. But even though her friend Amy tells her that she has a good body, you know, she doesn't really believe it. And it's kind of hard for her to believe Amy, you know, where Amy has, you know, the figure. But anyway, she's sporting short hair as well. I don't know, I kind of like short hair on Tiffany. Maybe it'd be longer, I don't know. I'll draw that and see how it looks, but I like the short hair. She lives with Tony, his mother, and Bobby. She's best friends with Tony. Tony is pretty much her childhood best friend. They've been best friends for about, let's see, she's 17, so they've been best friends since 10 years. And she's like an older sister to Bobby. So she's kind of jealous of Tony and Amy's relationship, because when Amy comes into the picture, it's going to be more Tony and Amy on the front lines, and seeing as how they have the muscle and Tony has the speed. Tiffany's more of the, you know, background tactician who just like lay out the battle plans. She tries to help, but you know, at times she can be overpowered, and you know, so she doesn't get in the way. She stays behind again, which could bring up a little bit of jealousy, but not much. The main reason why she lives with Tony, Bobby, and Rochelle is because, if you haven't seen the George review, I'll tell you, she doesn't know anything really about her past. She has no idea who her parents are, no idea where she comes from. The orphanage is the only place she remembers. That's all she remembers. She's been in the orphanage since she was a toddler. Really, before this, since she was an infant, she's been at the orphanage. So she has no idea. Now, back then, she was a nice, quiet girl, and she was bullied a lot. And it was George who came in and actually helped her out, and in turn helped her escape. Now, her and George part ways later on after George helped both of them escape. And Tiffany was wandering around trying to find out who she was, and, you know, trying to stay out of danger. Where she does come across, unfortunately, a rapist. You know, we got sick freaks out there. And this is when she was 7 years old, people. 7 years old, okay? So she was almost violated by a rapist. When who should come out of the way? A 7-year-old Tony. He tries to do something, but you know, 7 years old, what can you do? But don't want to go into too much detail about it. Long story short, she was saved, and really, if it wasn't for Tony finding her, she has no idea where she would have been. She had nowhere to go, and Rochelle offered her a place to stay. She offered to be her legal guardian. She didn't adopt her because she wanted that to be Tiffany's choice. At the same time, too, she kind of liked Tiffany, and even though they were young, she kind of hoped that maybe one day Tiffany and her son would maybe hit it off and become a couple. I don't know. Maybe that's thinking too much for Rochelle, but you know, Rochelle knows a lot more than, you know, she thinks she does. Maybe I'll go into Rochelle later on. But yeah, so she lets Tiffany stay with Tony and herself, which later on Bobby comes into the picture, and like I said, they've been best friends ever since. Tiffany is level-headed, calm, and thinks about her actions. Whereas Tony, he can be reckless, he can be cocky at times, but, you know, you're claiming you're the fastest, you know, can't really complain with that. You know, that's just him, and he's a guy, so sorry guys, yeah, that's just how it is. Anyway, her fighting style. She is not a master, but she knows well of tiger-style kung fu. Again, she learned this from Rochelle after she was almost raped and everything. She didn't want to be helpless. She wanted to be strong and be able to defend herself. So Rochelle, in turn, over the course of the 10 years, began teaching her, well, and Tony, but, you know, Tony has a short attention span. So she taught both of them tiger-style kung fu, only Tiffany knows more because she paid attention and she wanted to make sure she could defend herself. and like in the style she's in right now, in the little pose. But that's really about it for Tiffany. So I guess I'm gonna draw the rest of this in time lapse. And again, this is Sasuke 419. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned to the end of the video because there will be more choices for you to pick for the drawing tutorial. I don't know, maybe you guys would pick Amy or something like that. I don't know. You guys are perverts anyway. If this and Amy are the only two videos you watch, that just proves you all are perverts. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, Sasuke 419, enjoy the music and take care.